today. And why the millennial generation is starting to give up because they can't afford to get a good job or own a house.
8 million Venezuelans voting for this assembly, saying it's actually less than 3.
It is. And people are going to start rioting in the streets.
Was reported to have asked Putin for military support that would help him stay in power.
We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
And they ignore him, and 8 more years goes by till Bernie himself finally admits to his sons, hey, I've been running a Ponzi scheme.
Does its dominance mean it can use the alliance for its own ends?
Since 1981, bond yields, also known as coupon rates, have just gone down and down and down.
The Federal Reserve note will be your biggest financial liability.
We're live. RTD Live Talk. It is Tuesday night, the 27th day of the month of August, and we're back for some live streaming this evening. So I feel like it's been a minute, and of course it has been a minute. And as always, my goal is to stick to a script every night, 9:30ish, but yet, yeah, when you have other priorities and other things to get done, it makes it very difficult, but yet here we are. And as always, welcome to the live stream. My name is Mike, the host of RTD Live Talk, Detroit's #1 late night YouTube talk show. And tonight, as you guys can tell, we're going to be talking about silver, aka the people's money. The question is this a pump fake or is this the real deal? I'm curious to find out what you guys think. So as always, let me know in the chat right here. Is this the real deal or is it a pump fake? Give me a thumbs up for the real deal and a pump fake and a thumbs down. Other than that, as always, my name is Mike, and if you guys are any new viewers to the channel, and in the chat, let me know where you're watching from. Definitely love to acknowledge your presence. Then above my head, there's a number, 313-462-0027, for you to call in and let me know what's on your mind. So, as well as if there's any other news out there that's worthy of mentioning in regards to this whole economic paradigm that we're living in, feel free to let me know. I would love to touch it and share my thoughts on it, as well as get your thoughts on it. So we got a couple thumbs up, which means I guess this is the real deal, according to those thumbs up. So we got Spirit King, we got Scott, we got Who Me says hello, we got Brother Truth Be Told, cool, how you doing? We got Tom Manley says gold evening. What up, everyone? Scott, short clip earlier, great short clip. Scott, appreciate it, my friend. Yeah, that article I came across. Yeah, it's just, how many warnings or how many heads up can you be given before you start to put it all together and be like, hey. I've always believed that before things unfold, there's always warning signs that people want to get across to us. And I think right now could be one of those times where they're giving us a heads up that things are changing. Prepare. But let's take a call. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Hello? Anybody there? Had a call? Give me a call back. We'll get you on here. And let's keep it moving. What else we got here? Let me not acknowledge a couple more people in the chat. We got Ryan James, thumbs up. Blue Irvin says, hi, Mike, how you doing? I love silver. Hope it just keeps going up. Peter, it says, Guten Tag, Mike, how are you doing? Doing good, Peter. Appreciate you for reaching out to me. And also, down in Australia, Peter, I believe you're down under. Let me know what the environment is like down there. I know metals have already reached an all-time high. Where's the price of silver at? Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike. Good evening. This is Scott from Phoenix. How are you today?
I'm doing good, my friend. Thanks for calling in. Scott from Phoenix. What's on your mind tonight? Is it a pump fake or the real thing?
Oh, man, dude. I'm hoping it's the real thing, Mike. I know it is at the end of the day because I've been listening to you for about 2 years now, among other people, man, and it's going to get, in my opinion, pretty bad here.
Yeah.
And I like I said before, I called you and I wanted to know, like, I really respect your opinion, so I wanted to call you and ask. I just bought my first batch of gold and silver on Friday. I cashed in on some mature treasury bonds, and I just put the money direct in silver.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go ahead and take just a regular paycheck, and I want to put some money into the same thing.
Right.
I know I can't ask you for investment advice, but in your opinion, what do you think would be best in your opinion to buy, gold or silver? Which one should I put more focus on?
Well, in my opinion, and I'm gonna speak with the silver guru himself tomorrow, so I'll definitely remember that. I will make sure to ask him that question. But according to everything that I've gathered, everyone I've spoken with, the most undervalued asset on the planet Earth at this current moment that has all the monetary characteristics in one happens to be silver. And then if you look at the ratio aspect of it being extremely distorted as far as the historical norms, everyone believes it has to correct, and what correct means, who knows, when we've been in an artificial environment. So some people say it's going to be a 1-to-1 gold to silver price ratio. So with that being the case, I would be willing to bet those odds that silver, having more than just monetary, it's industrial, it's all the other stuff included. I would say silver would be my personal opinion. And so once again, you can't go wrong with either or. It's more so, I guess, storage, and all those things that might go into that, because more weight in silver is a little bit harder to, maneuver with, as opposed to a couple silver eagles or gold coins rather. So whatever you're more comfortable with, but the most undervalued, I believe, is silver, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And then, Mike, just one more question. What is your opinion on junk silver?
Junk silver
as an investment?
I am a fan of it because it has the same properties that I've listed before, but yet the only difference is it's from the government, and B, it's probably the first thing you're going to move if you actually have to make some moves. And so as far as being able to interact or to redeem or exchange, or it'll be easier to take in some dimes or some quarters or whatnot to use in barter terms if need be, or out of all your savings in the form of metals, it'll be a lot more, you'll probably feel more comfortable getting rid of the 90% proof and all the junk silver, just because it's not 9.999 fine. It's not sitting there looking pretty as them silver rounds might be looking. So I think the junk silver definitely is a go, because those are things you probably want to move first, depending on what you're going to do with it. So I believe it's a thumbs up, my friend.
Definitely, man. Well, I've been waiting to give you a call ever since Friday, man. I've been off. I know you just came on. I got the alert, and I was like, I got to call him right away, because I'm driving. I'm about to do some grocery shopping, man. So I won't hold you up, Mike, man. But I appreciate it, man. God bless you and your family, man, and just keep pushing that knowledge.
I will, my friend. Thanks for calling. I appreciate you.
Yep.
Yeah, man. Good stuff as always. Appreciate the call. Yeah, man. Silver, the most undervalued asset. And, to take it even further, to me, given the historical aspects of silver, so of course I've already mentioned it, everyone knows. I mean, Chris Dwayne from Silver Shield preaches it. And, there's a lot of silver people out there. But yet, when you just look at the role that silver has played from a monetary standpoint, well before the technological ages where it was used in computerized gadgets, it was of extreme value yesteryears, and it's even more so now because of all its uses. I mean, if all our technology didn't require silver, then you could say you could probably do without it. You probably throw in palladium and platinum and all those other metals that are scarce in nature and could hold properties when it comes to money terms. But because silver is unique, and the fact that it's always been linked to, and even during the bimetallic standard, when gold and silver was in circulation, hand in hand, people got paid. The average person got paid in silver. And then at the end of the day, if you were sitting on something heavy, then you'll probably go redeem it and turn it into gold because it's easier and lighter to store. But silver is just is too. It is money. And that's where I'm not really excited so much about the price going up, just because, once again, I've always mentioned this before, I don't really follow the price directly, other than just noticing, how things around us seem to be going belly ups. And then as a result of that, the price of metals move. But yet I'm assuming silver. So like Peter saying that silver in Australian dollars is already 27.10 in Australian dollars. And so I'm not sure what the exchange rate is. I think it's like almost 2-to-1, I think, or a bill 50.5 to 1. But yet they're already at pretty relatively all-time highs in Australia, I believe. Well, not all-time highs, probably in silver. But yet, the price is moving everywhere. It's just not here. So when I hear it, it's like, okay, let me go and comment on it. But I'm hoping this is a pump fake. Me personally, just because I don't want the price to really take off, because once it takes off. Here's the thing, when gold and silver takes off, the way that those that are in the monetary alternative media community is waiting for, what that means is that you'll be able to you'll be able to purchase less, more than likely, because when the price of gold or say of silver go up to $100 an ounce, like a lot of people, if they let this thing go and let the free market take it to where it probably will eventually go, if an ounce was $100, think about it, like your current allocation now, whatever you do, say, if it's $100 or more a week or whatever it is you do. So say, for example, $100 a week. As of right now, you can get your silver round for, say, $20. So you can get 5 of them every Friday, and that's $20 for the month. But yet, the price go up to where we are hoping it goes. If it's $100 an ounce, that means you're going to get 4 a month. Now, 20 now, 4 then, 20, I would take 20 all day long because there's no such thing as having too much. And it's the same way. If people measured their wealth in ounces and grams and other forms of weight, they would say, same thing with dollars. Or whatever your bank account is, wherever you keep your currency at, your fiat currency, I'm sure you can never say you have enough. Like, if you got a couple zeros in there, you can always use a couple more zeros. There's just that inherent nature of there's never enough. It's the same way with weight. You can truly never have enough, especially in regards to what's coming, because I believe that after this reboot or this restructuring, whatever it is currently underway. Check the video I did earlier if you guys want to find out more about that. But once this thing unfolds, there'll be no going back to the old age of cash will not be in circulation at that time, and then we're going to be solely digital. So the opportunity of holding something cold and strong and sturdy and precious, yeah, you're gonna really appreciate the concept of having some weight, is what I'm getting at. So let me stop ranting. Anyway, let me get to the chat. As always, give me a call. Let me know what's in your mind. The question I started us off with is the current price spike 50 cents, or give or take today, which was silver, is a big move. Is it a pump fake, meaning that they just let it slip to get you excited, but then they're going to kill it tomorrow? Or is this the real deal where this thing probably tomorrow is going to probably hit a 1875, maybe a 19 type of thing? Let me know. Hit a thumbs up in the chat. Thumbs up if this is the real deal. Thumbs down if it's a pump fake, or either one of the words. But anyway, let's keep moving. Gold is real money. Jeff, 100% gold is real money, and silver is too. What price to dump silver? Dump. Tang. Now you mean dump as in looking to, as they say, as a trader say, looking to make profit, take out your profit. So if you're in a trading game, in my opinion, I think you're probably in the wrong asset class, because money, gold and silver is money. It is money. Like, it's money. So what you're saying is that you're looking to profit off of money's fluctuation, where in actuality it's the currencies that's fluctuating, which is the problem. So I think if you speculate, you're probably better off going to a different asset class, because the whole point in holding on to this particular money is to sit on it as a savings. Like, think about, and this is where I think it'll be worth your while to start adapting the mindset of conventional banking, the way that conventional banking was done 100+ years ago, more like 150 years ago to be more accurate, before the second central bank especially, which was, so that would put us 1830, that was 1830, so that's well beyond 150 point. But before the greenback, before the war, before the Civil War, where we were put on the Legal Tender Act came into play, where the whole role of paper being redeemable came about again. If you go back to that time frame, when people actually had silver, gold, that's all there was. People knew the difference between fiat and money, because money was something you can shake, you can hear it. And so once we got introduced to paper and the linkage and the backage and all that stuff like that, that's when they just weaned us off. Now, as you see, we are solely digital. There's not enough paper now for all the claims out there. So if people went back to old school banking, where you just actually had your silver, gold in your possession, and and that's what the money changers, the whole concept of banks came about because of people depositing for storage sake inside of a vault, and then the issuers issue paper receipts on top of that. And here we are now, a couple hundred years later. Now we got paper receipts as if it's real money. If we go back to the banking model where gold and silver is money, you sit on it and just look at it. Don't worry about it doing anything but just sitting there while everything around you implodes, because as of now, it's a guarantee, it's baked into the cake that the central bank and the government are going to basically destroy themselves like they always have done, just because this whole thing exists because of the activities that they've subjected themselves to, as well as the public. So, yeah, get back to the old banking model. You'll be fine. When you get rid of it, I wouldn't really worry about getting rid of it. Tech Shop Block says, I'm going to buy that shirt, RTD. It's nice. Appreciate you, my friend. I think there's a link beneath this video where you can purchase it if you're interested. As always, this is a way of supporting the channel. And so this is green, so that's why it looks like there's money flowing through it, but it's not really see-through. So just so you know, a little disclaimer, you're not getting a see-through shirt. It's green. It says silver and gold are both way overbought here. Way overbought. Kim, way overbought. I would say, in comparison to all the other financial instruments that the world has been suckered into believing, our long-term bets, I would say gold and silver is not overbought, just because you look at the financialization of this current, this investment paradigm we have between all the products. We got CDs, annuities, and hell, there's products I don't even know, mutual fund. There's so many products out there. They're all digital claims that's in somebody's server that has a dollar amount to it that's owed by somebody and being held on behalf of probably you. And once again, if there's any type of breakage in the chain of inter parties, the risk increases exponentially. The further your digits go away from you, the further your paper go away from you, the more risk you take on. So, yeah, I don't think they're overbought. I think they're underbought as far as people realizing what they are. Call them money. Call it money. Call it money. If you call it money, it's no such thing as overbought, underbought. It's just, do you have enough? Do you have enough weight? Get your weight up is the whole point. Going back to ratio, 10-to-1 ratio. If silver is $58 an ounce, you can sell at 25. You will have takers. You can sell it at 25. I'm not sure what that is. US 63 cents. So the US is 63 cents to Aussie $1. So $1. Okay. So yeah, so 48, what was that? 32 cent difference. It says copper is crap unless building a skyscraper. Copper, it's one of them things where somebody will buy it up off of you. You'll be able to exchange it for something, whether it be just to do some piping in somebody's house. It'll go. Let me get some more chats. As always, there's a number, 313-462-0027. Give me a call. Love to get your thoughts. It says less physical silver in storage worldwide than gold. Ponder that. Yeah. Silver true value at least 200. Yeah, and I always goes back to, if you go to the U.S. debt clock and you look at the amount of the M1 in comparison to the above ground that was mined last year, is usually, last time we checked, I think about $700, give or take. It says the silver to 100, gold to 5,000 is completely dependent on an absolute financial collapse, which I am at loss, at least convinced will happen because the crowd is looking for a collapse. I would probably say the same. I would. That's why I'm saying this is probably more of a pump fake than it is an actual price, real true price discovery. So I can wait a little bit. I think we got a call. Do we have a call? Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from? Maybe we don't. Give me a call back. I'll get you on here. What else you got to say? If it may be overbought, but it could make a Bitcoin move well over 2,000. We're talking about silver? Jesse James, we talking about silver being overbought? Because, I'm trying to actually, figure out how you define overbought, because, once again, if not many people actually have it, who bought it, and how is it overbought? Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Mike, Tim, Colorado.
Tim, how you doing, my friend? What's on your mind tonight?
Good. Couple questions. One is, so what happens when the STHF or whatever, and you have precious metals and the government just says that's illegal, Bitcoin's illegal, precious metals are illegal for private individuals. You must turn it in because the government needs it, da-da-da-da.
Yeah, that's probably more than possible. I wouldn't doubt any type of legislation out of emergency's sake to say, hey, turn over, give us, we need. And then it's just a matter as a good law-abiding citizen, whether you're patriotic enough to actually make sure you be the first one in line, Tim, to make sure you help Uncle Sam out. And so if you want to help Uncle Sam out in dire straits, I would support you, Tim, if you were going to do that.
Well, let's assume we're sane, okay? And we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Obviously it becomes black market.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things, like the lack of currency, because they're on their way to get rid of currency big time.
Yeah.
And they're going to put us into it. They're going to flip-flop this thing pretty quick, I think. Because if you looked at let's go back on to Treasury yields. Have you looked at that today?
I did not know.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna open it up right now, and it was pretty bad. The 3-month beats the 30-year twice today.
Really?
3-month, 30-year. Okay?
Yeah.
So logic is upside down. Nothing makes sense.
Yeah. So
right? And we supposedly have a fight between Powell and Trump. What's your opinion on that? There can't be any reality to that.
Yeah, I'm of the mindset that this is all a part of like some deliberate shakeup to basically bring this thing down for somewhat of a supposed soft landing. But yet it's too many dominoes that are trimming right now around the world to actually believe that Trump actually cares enough to really at this point, because he's still preaching a narrative of an economy is doing good, but yet everybody around us is not really believing that anymore. So I think he's deliberately trying to get through this election to the next one to usher in some type of default, to restructure the debt, because as of now, we owe the world money that will not be paid back. So if they want, unless they roll out something as a counter reserve, it'll probably be in their best interest to be willing to renegotiate this debt, this old, because 23 trillion plus is going to be 30 trillion by the end of the next year or two because of whatever the recession. So, and all the other stuff. So there's going to be a lot of renegotiating. And I think he's the guy that's going to get it done. It's not going to be comfortable though. It's not going to be fun.
That's only what they're telling you they created. That's nothing.
Right.
And the way I see it, it is going down, and that's all a game, just like you said. They're going to try and put us into a digital currency and outlaw Bitcoin, gold, and silver. Yeah. And it's all going to be under market after that, and hope you have what you need, because I don't think it's going to come out too good, and I don't think it's that far off.
Yeah.
Because this bond market, it's reaching ludicrous stages. We live in idiocracy.
Yeah, good way of putting it. Yeah, we do. And here's the thing: just the yield aspect of basically discovering the price of money. This interest rate situation has really distorted the whole concept of borrowing. Like now, it's like we're questioning as to whether or not we're gonna either let the bank take our money as opposed to give us money. Like Europe, they're used to now giving up their returns. So they give 100,000 and they get 95,000 back, and it's like to them it's safe. So once all those people, and another trigger that could happen within the next couple of months can be the citizens in Germany, because right now their bank is flirting with the fact that they are now about to pass on the negative interest rates to the consumer. Now, but right now it's on the businesses, corporate. But if it goes to the average saver and depositor, and so I've read that German citizens, that's the highest saving population. There's approximately almost 3 trillion worth of savings in the German banks. And so if that shift goes down to the average consumer, they're going to be pulling out their money and putting it somewhere. And they won't be putting it in bonds. They're going to be putting it in physical metals or speculative assets such as cryptocurrency. So that could be something worthwhile, because once again, there's only so much gold and silver that's available right now from the consumer to actually get a hold of, and we're not savers here. We're spenders. So if Germany starts unloading them savings accounts and buying stuff, we're going to see a price spike for real. So yeah, monetary policy has destroyed us. I don't think it's going to be
a price spike, Mike. If it goes that far, I think the system's going to just fail. Deutsche Bank is down It's been a little worse, but it's just barely over $7 right now.
Yeah. Yeah, and so and for the banking sector in general, they only exist to make a profit, and it's usually at the expense of their depositors. And if the depositors remove their funds, there is no, there is not much activity because people damn sure won't be borrowing unless it's extremely negative. And once again, you're borrowing in an environment where if you take out a mortgage with the idea that, okay, they're going to pay me to take it out, when the damn thing collapses, you're still going to be on the hook for it. So it's going to be some issues, my friend.
Nobody wins but them. It's a Ponzi scheme, Mike.
Yeah, I agree. Well, hey, Tim, I appreciate you, my friend.
I mean, I've had really smart people tell me it's not a Ponzi scheme, but it is.
Yeah.
It's the most infamous Ponzi scheme in human history.
Yeah. Yeah, and
everybody should listen to you because everything you've said tonight was right on. And, hey, great caller earlier,
Yes, sir. I appreciate you, Tim.
Okay, you have a great night, Mike.
Thanks, you
too.
too.
The truth, okay?
My pleasure. Be good.
Okay.
Bye. So this is what I was referring to here. And so Germany, out of the EU, is the nation with the most savings from depositors. And we have this little article here, which is not exactly what it is, but it says German banks wade into negative rate debate. So the debate, it says the debate is to whether or not, it says German finance minister said last week that the officials would examine the legal implications of blocking banks from levying so-called penalty interest on retail deposits of up to 100,000 euros. So as of now, it's not ideal to penalize your savers for holding funds in your bank, but they're about to start debating that. And what do you imagine the institution and a system that's corroding, what they're going to do? Do you think they're going to say, oh, no, we're not going to tax our people. We're not going to penalize savers. We're not going to penalize you for being financially responsible. Yeah, they're going to say, sure, pass the losses on to them as well. Everyone's supposed to lose in this shift. So, yeah, and there's a couple of testimonies here. I think this is probably a copy of the same article, but I'll put this in the chat for those that might want to take a glance at it. But once again, if they're debating on whether or not to pass to penalize savers, that lets me know that it's as good as done. It's as good as done. What else is going on out there? What other news might be worthy of talking about? What else? We got Dow, 30,000 by end of 2019. Funny colors. Dow 20K by elections. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm still anticipating. The equities markets is pretty much the heartbeat, is the pulse of our economy. Everybody looks at the Dow based upon, whether it goes up or down to kind of gauge their net worth as well as their house. But yet all that's is in bubble territory, so it's not real. But yet I think come September, like next month, a lot of people are predicting that the Fed will cut interest rates again. Now it's just a matter of whether it's a quarter or if it's going to be half a point or more. But no matter what, they're going to go down further. And along with that, I think Peter Schiff mentioned it. They're going to start QE once again, call it something else. It's going to be called the economic something freedom saver. It's going to be some type of patriotic name. And you better believe corporations, institutions will start borrowing again. And where's those funds going to go? It might go back into corporate buybacks, or it might just go, eventually they're going to have to start giving some funds to the consumers. So I anticipate, and it's all subject to the election, but if the Democratic Party wins, we already know what they're going to do, UBI, UBS, all types of free stuff. So get ready for some type of injection directly into your pockets within the next 2 years, subject to getting out of the next 8 months. Getting to the next presidential election without a complete market meltdown, then, President Trump will probably get his second term. If there's a meltdown between now and the time November comes around, when it's time to go to voting booths, or before then, Trump is out, Bernie Sanders is in, more than likely Elizabeth Warren will be in, and then at that point, once they get in, you can kiss anything that resembles a stable economy goodbye. UBI coming, free this, free that, free that. Say goodbye to everything that's sound, and at that point, it's just how fast will this thing unravel? Because there's really no point of return. Mr. Call, feel free to call back in. We get you on here. It won't be on much longer. Just want to check in, share my thoughts on the price of silver And for those that might just be joining, I'll start off by mentioning, do you think the price in silver is a pump fake, which means that they just getting you excited, having you look over, and then they're going to drop it next day or two and disappoint you? Or is it getting away from them? And I read a couple silver people who's heavy in the field mentioning that they got some COMEX stuff coming up and some selling of some futures or whatnot that's coming up that could be problematic. So actually, I forgot who it was, but they mentioned that this week by next week, there's going to be some major things happening in regards to the metals. I don't know the details that could really begin exposing some of this. So is this an early sign of what I was referring to? I'm not sure, but so it says Tulsi Gabbard 2020. I haven't followed her 10 pound. I don't know much about her, so I can't really speak on it. But we have a call. Let's find out what's going on. Hello, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, it's Typo from Massachusetts. It's great to see you.
Typo from Massachusetts. Thanks for calling in. How you doing?
Good. It's great to see all these people in here having this great conversation. I just wanted to add my 2 cents. First one is I wanted your thoughts on whether they're purposely keeping silver low so the people can, in America, so the people can accumulate it, or so that people don't want to buy it, the opposite, because it doesn't seem to be valuable at such a low price. And if you remembered, years like 70 years ago, they needed to melt down an enormous amount of silver to make something. It was something like I can't remember. Maybe it had to do with radio.
I don't remember that. I don't recall hearing about that. But I remember something about a silver shortage because of the price. The price when it went above $1. People would then use the silver and melt it down for the melt value. And so there was issues with the actual junk silver that was disappearing. So there's a shortage of silver. And so that's probably something different, though. But I don't remember that, what you're referring to.
Oh, okay. I just couldn't place it, and I wanted to just get in before you said goodbye. And secondly, I wanted an idea of your thoughts on X22 mentioned this tonight, too, as well, which was fabulous. It's really important. It was Christiana Figueres, the UN official, executive secretary, and she gave the truth about global warming and said it was to bring down capitalist nations. Did you happen to cross that? Did anyone mention that to you?
I did not hear that. I've heard some things about the global warming issue. Now, I read a tweet from somebody that it might have been something involved with that. But I've always, it's good to hear that, because I've always was suspicious and looked at the whole global warming as a hoax anyway, just because the earth heats and cools naturally, just cycles in general. So I never believed that there was something that can actually be done by passing some type of law or legislation. And so to hear that is deliberately put forth to destroy capitalist countries, which is basically every developed country that is in the G7 and beyond, which are the primary manufacturers of everything around the world. So I'm not surprised at all. And hopefully by that being exposed, really thwarts and breaks up the plan of doing it. Because the goal right now is to try to cut off anything that would take us towards that one world government, which is what all this is about in their estimate. So with that being the case, I'm happy to hear that. So I'll check into it more.
Yes, and interestingly, she said it twice on purpose so that she would be heard.
Yeah.
So I just want to point that out. If anyone is investigating that, I just wanted to be on the record on this audio so that we'd know the date that it was covered.
Yeah, good deal. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'll answer your silver question as well. So thank you for calling in.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
All right.
Have a great night.
Yeah, be good. So yeah, great point there. Something worthy of mentioning. So in my opinion, do I think that they're causing a little buzz around the silver price to wake people up, or keeping it relatively low, have kept it so low so that people could get in? And so my initial thought will be no, just because I don't think that the globalists, those that are in charge of this system and this paradigm, want people to have options out of this system. And so the goal is always about control. And of course, the more options, the more weight, the more resources you have, the more options you have. And so the goal is to limit your options. So I don't think they're deliberately doing it. But I'm glad that we have alternative tools such as YouTube channels and videos and Twitter and all types of things that can get people to look the other direction and be open to hearing about the importance of silver and gold or whatnot. And so I think it's not deliberate, but I think, there could be some control being lost because the more people are aware of what's going on, it's hard to really manipulate and keep people dumbed down and keep your foot around their neck if they're hearing from multiple people and seeing things. So just my 2 cents there. But we have a call, I believe, or if I don't, maybe don't. Give me a call back and we'll get you on here. Other than that, about to dial back this evening. It's been great. And I figure I would probably dial back and share some few things with you. Let me pull this up here. So actually, for those, hello caller. Let me see. Hello caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Hey, Mike, what's going on, man?
How you doing?
From Chicago.
How you doing, buddy? What's on your mind tonight?
All right, Mike. So I just had a question for you, man.
Okay.
Because I keep my ear to the streets when it comes to this wealth and everything's getting ready to happen.
Yeah.
One thing that I think that's getting ready to roll out, if not soon in the near future, is the RFID chips.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like yourself, I believe in the book. I try to stay abreast with the book, and I know the conflict that comes in. You know what I mean? Because even if I go if I throw my weight up and have my silver and my gold, or whether I go Bitcoin, whether I go anything, to buy, sell, or trade, you're gonna have to have the mark.
Right.
And I think that's the RFID chip. So I want to know, man, what are your thoughts on that, man? Because again, you're on both sides of the fence. You know what I mean? You understand the book, but you also understand the wealth game. So I mean, how do you look at this situation?
Yeah. Hey man, that's a great question. And so I really don't think about it much, even though I know how this all ends. And so I believe that because I'm aware of what Revelations reference as far as the not being able to do trade, sell, do any type of activity apart from having that particular mark. Also with that, I'm more than aware that God has always made a way and provided for his own. So I believe that if I'm in Christ because of my faith, then between now and that time, I'll get some type of wisdom from the Holy Spirit that will help me at that moment. Because right now, I would like to say, I ain't getting no damn chip. But yeah, it's one of the things where, when you got mouths to feed in a desperate moment, apart from being led by the Holy Spirit, I couldn't say what I would do. I know what I don't want to do. I don't want to go against what I believe is already established as those that have that particular mark are not a part of the kingdom or part of God's family. So with that being the case, between now and that point, I believe God's will give us some wisdom on it. And as always, I think it might come down to that time where, hey, your faith is questioned and you might be confronted with, your destiny at that point, whether or not that's the beginning or the end of your time in this body. So I don't know, but I would hope that my faith is strong enough and that by the time I arrive at that point, I would well know what is best for me personally. But God definitely tells us where all this is heading. So in the end, outside of that, the goal is to make it to the point where, I hear the words, well done, thou good and faithful servant. So trying to be a servant, we'll see, but I can't really say what I would or wouldn't do. I know what I want to do, but we'll see how that works out. So yeah, it's a tough question, but yeah, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I just keep thinking. Because I see gold and silver going up, and I'm happy about that because listening to you guys and a couple other people, and I got my bags packed a little bit, and I got my crypto. I got a nice little portfolio, but I'm like, hell, I could be the richest man in the world, but if I can't buy, sell, or trade without this, then I'm like, oh shit. What was it all really for? You know what I mean? Yeah. So I don't know.
Now, let me give you some words of encouragement that really, edifies my spirit, man. So for those that are listening, about to, share a little spiritual wisdom that comes from a good book. But yet, all of this is about, life on a new earth in the kingdom of God. And so I'm a big fan of a guy by the name of Miles Monroe, who's no longer here. But the whole kingdom message it was life changing for me because it helped me see the book as a legal, lawful documentation as opposed to a spiritual, religious, hocus pocus, spooky stuff. Because that particular message the kingdom of God itself is a government. And so I believe that the kingdom of God, according to the word, is the Spirit of God is the governor on this planet. And so I believe that I try to operate from a kingdom economic mindset, knowing that everything is owned by the Lord himself, and I'm just a steward of it. Therefore, I try to put myself in a position where I have nothing to lose because I don't own anything, technically, from a standpoint that God is the Lord. And if he's the Lord, if he's responsible, then I put it into his hands to let me know what I need, what I don't need to feed me, however it may come about. And of course, you got to do practical things along the way. But that's where I think it really comes down to being led by the Spirit as much as you can. So prayer between now and the time you leave this earth, which could be any time, is important. So I believe being led by the Spirit, you can't be led astray. So that question you asked me initially is like, okay, it's one of the spiritual things where I trust that when it's time, the Lord will give me the wisdom and the guidance, because I'm not leading myself. I'm leading a lot of people, my family. A lot of people look up to me, and I can't lead them astray. So I trust that he'll put the right revelation to my heart at the time.
Right.
If that helps at all.
Deal, man. Sounds good to me. Yeah,
but if you haven't heard of them, check out Miles Monroe. Google Kingdom, the Kingdom of God message, and I'll tell you that message will change your life. You'll never be the same in a good way. I promise you that. That's my guy. He passed away, and to this day, I still watch YouTubes and they replays, but I watch them because you can never get enough of that stuff, man. Because it's real. Okay. The kingdom of God is here, buddy. I appreciate the call, my friend.
I appreciate you, Mike.
All right, be good. Yep. Yeah, man, good stuff. I felt that I wanted to share that, so I appreciate everyone for hanging in there. Let me give a chance to share my spiritual matters with you guys. But other than that, we're about to dial back. It's been great hanging out this evening. We're about 40 minutes, so a lot longer. So as you guys mentioned, I was trying to get to that 40 piece. But as always, for those that are new to the channel, if you've enjoyed the information back and forth, don't be afraid to donate a thumbs up. Like right now, hit that thumbs up or thumbs down, whatever you prefer. It's okay. And then if you find anything informative, don't be afraid to share it with your family and friends, because they are the ones that more than likely need information that they won't hear on mainstream news, and they won't definitely get in the classroom. So that being the case, also for those, the price of gold and silver is moving. I want to make sure I remind you guys, I got the silver RTD coin for those that have not had a chance to get it. There's a link beneath this video here where you can pick yourself up one, because definitely this thing will go up in value, because it's the contents of it. The chemical composition of this coin here can only go up and not down, because it's real money, even though it's not legal tender. But anyway, want to share it out with you guys. But other than that, it's been great hanging out. Be blessed, be safe. See you guys later. Shalom.